What is up, wing women? Happy Motivation Monday. As you can tell, I'm obsessed with this sweatshirt, so you're gonna probably just see me wearing it a lot. I freaking love it. It's super cozy, and it's not like, I don't know, the material is just like really nice. So I never want to take it off. I have washed it twice, and then I put it immediately back on. So, so here we are, resilient. Don't you love this? This is great, right? It's a company called One Day at a Time. No affiliation. I just like the sweatshirt. It is a men's, so this is the smallest one they have, and it's a little large on me. Anyways, 30 seconds in, I have something really, really good for you today. We're going to talk about something that might not seem super duper important. It's kind of subtle at the surface level, but in practice, this is honestly the most powerful shift you are ever going to make in your health and fitness journey. And that is understanding the difference between doing wellness and being wellness. Because on the outside, those two things can look the same. In fact, oftentimes they are exactly the same when you just look at them and you look at your day to day. Workouts are happening, food is being planned, supplements are getting taken, but internally, they feel very, very different. Doing wellness feels like effort, like management, like something you have to stay on top of, or it all falls apart. It is just another thing on your to-do list when you're doing wellness, right? But being wellness feels embodied, integrated. It's like your choices are coming from who you are, not what you're trying to keep up with. Now, as you can already hear, probably, this matters very, very much. But it is also really important to know that there's going to be a season where you have to do wellness, especially at the beginning, okay? When you're learning new habits, when you're rebuilding trust with your own body, and when you need structure to support yourself in that, you're going to be doing wellness. And that phase is not wrong. It's necessary. But the danger is getting stuck there, okay? And I see this all the time. And if I'm being really honest, I catch myself living there from time to time as well. And this is what being stuck in wellness and doing wellness looks like. Your routines feel rigid instead of supportive. You feel anxious when conditions aren't perfect. You need rules to feel safe. Rest feels like quitting. And you're healthy on paper, right? I.e., I checked off my steps, I checked off my macros, but you feel really tense in your body, or you wake up and you feel anxious about all of the things that you have to do for your health. And if you stay in that phase, if you stay in that place long enough, you're going to get burned out. You're going to start to resent the work. You're going to start associating health with pressure instead of freedom. And eventually, you're either going to rebel or you're going to walk away from the whole thing completely. And we don't want that, right? But when it happens, it's not failure. It's not a lack of discipline. It's just a signal that you need to transition from doing wellness into being wellness. So what does being wellness look like? If you need to transition to it, if you want to transition to it at some point, what does that look like? How do I know if I'm there, Stevie? Well, you're going to be able to adapt your plan without spiraling. You're going to be able to make choices based on feedback instead of fear. Your habits are going to flex with your life instead of breaking under it. And you're going to be able to learn how to trust yourself more than that black and white plan on paper. Okay, and taking care of your health when you're being wellness, it supports your life and it doesn't compete with it. So, I know my dog's gonna bark right when I start recording these. Every time something's gonna happen. It's okay, it's okay. We're back in it. My squirrels are here. I'm doing one thing at a time. So, being wellness. So that's what being wellness looks like. It's where wellness becomes who you are instead of just what you do, okay? But getting there, getting to that point, it doesn't happen accidentally. Transitioning from doing to being requires ongoing awareness. So here's how you move to being and embodying wellness and staying there. Number one, you're going to regularly check in with your why, not just your what, not just your behavior, not just what you're doing, not did I do it, but you're going to ask yourself, is this still serving me and how? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you're going to loosen your grip on the rules a little bit, just like hold it with an open hand, right? And strengthen your relationship with your own body's signals. This is a super important piece of the puzzle. Like, you're going to start figuring out, like, am I hungry right now? What does feeling hungry actually mean, right? That's why we have to start with the doing, because you might not have access to knowing what hungry or not hungry feels like initially, because we've been so blind to some of this stuff for a lot of our lives. And once we start learning and we can actually start knowing, hey, this is what full feels like. This is what fueled or energized feels like. This means I got enough of what I needed to function on a day-to-day basis. What does your mood feel like? How does my recovery feel? How do I know when I feel recovered in my body, right? These are all a learning curve in that kind of doing phase initially. And then once you understand some of these things, we need to absolutely tune into that. And these things, these markers, hunger, energy, mood, nutrition, recovery, they're going to become your guides eventually. Okay. So that's number two. And that's a learning curve. And we're all in that learning curve on a regular basis. And it's going to tease itself out over time. And it's going to change over time as well. So what's number three? You allow your habits to evolve, right? As these things do change over time, you allow space for that. Your habits are going to evolve as you evolve. So what supported you 6 months ago might need to look different now. And that's growth, not regression. Okay. So that structured, I'm logging every single day, I work out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday without flux, like that might not serve you anymore in 6 months. And we need to shift and flex so you can become and embody wellness. Number four, you normalize reflection as part of your wellness practice. Being wellness is not passive. This is a living, breathing entity, right? This is going to be something that you're having a dance with for the rest of your life. It's conscious. It requires honesty without judgment. So we're going to be consistently evaluating and reevaluating that. And this right here, this next thing is the most important part. You stop using wellness as a way to prove something about yourself. Okay, this is huge. You don't do this to earn rest. You don't do this to be good. I hear that one a lot. You don't do this to control your body. You actually do this and you're operating from a place of wellness because it's how you take care of the life that you're building. That's why we're doing it, right? So for this week, I don't want you to try to escape the doing phase. That's not what this is about. If you're building new habits, learning structure, rebuilding consistency, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Yeah, it's good to hear that, right? You're exactly where you're supposed to be. The shift I want you to practice isn't about changing what you're doing. And this is the biggest way to shift from doing to being wellness. It's about noticing where your motivation is coming from. So when things start to feel heavy, when you hear the thought, ugh, I have to XYZ, I want you to pause and I want you to just gently ask yourself, am I doing this because I have to? Or am I doing this because it supports the life I want to live and the woman that I am becoming? That question alone is super powerful. It is going to really change the way you think about the things that you're doing, okay? Because when wellness is driven by I have to, it feels like pressure. It is fragile. It's dependent on willpower. But when it's driven by this supports me, It's going to feel purposeful, grounded, and stable. And you don't need to change the behavior in the moment, okay? You just need to shift the story you're telling yourself about that behavior and why you're doing it. And over time, that is how you're going to shift from doing wellness to being wellness or embodying wellness. And that is the secret to making it sustainable, a sustainable practice for the rest of your life. Not by rushing, not by dropping the structure, but by slowly letting your habits become self-expression instead of self-control. Okay? That's how you stay in the growth phase without burning out. And that is super important. That's all I have for you guys today. I know it's like double the time I promised Motivation Mondays to be. I'm not sorry for it because I think this one's really super important. And I want you guys to know that I'm really proud of you for being here and for doing all of this work with intention because it matters. It absolutely matters. And you guys are building something that's going to last for a really long time. Have such a good week. Bye.